أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذ يوحي ربك إلى الملائكة أني معكم فثبتوا الذين آمنوا سألقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب فاضربوا فوق الأعناق واضربوا منهم كل بنان ذلك بأنهم شاقوا الله ورسوله ومن يشاقق الله ورسوله فإن الله شديد العقاب. ذلكم فذوقوه وأن للكافرين عذاب النار. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا لقيتم الذين كفروا زحفا فلا تولوهم الأدبار. صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. At Umeedo Daira ke Izzat member Rosaina Adam, Resident Representative for the United Nations Development Programme, Mr. Enrico Gavelia, Practice Parliament for Women ke emmeha bavering adimi rasmiyata wadanti bevi emmeha befulum. Practice Parliament for Women Feshumuge Rasmiyata Marhaba.
Assalamu alaikum. Honorable Member of Parliament Atol Meedu Constituency, Ms. Rosaina Adam, Resident Representative for the United Nations Development Programme, Mr. Enrico Gavelia, High Commissioner of the Australian Government Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Mr. Paul Stevens, participants of the Practice Parliament for Women, and everyone else joining us here today. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all joining us here at the People's Majlis to the opening ceremony of the Practice Parliament for Women.
Medu ge rasmiyat alugandayku hushala deni Hadija Majida, mi rasmiyat feshkendiye kirti guruan ge barakatun, kiyawa vidaluwi Ayman Tawfiq.
I, Khadija Majida, along with Amnat Shaimin, will be your host for today. The ceremony began with the recitation of Holy Quran by Ayman Tawfiq.
Medu ge jalsa fesh Muhammad Jaifa wani jalsa haziru wadanti bevi izzateringe wahaka kolakun baverina mohadab ko echa dannawal modawat merwani attu Umeedo Daira ke izzat member Rosaina Adama.
We will begin with the remarks by our esteemed guests here today. Following this, we will conclude the ceremony with a group photo. First, we would like to invite Honorable MP Ms. Rosaina Adam to share her remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hamda shukur kurang Muhammad ke Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam me salawat salam devung iti dua dano admi dua ge man nabi age Allah sabun shamil kurang. A very good morning to everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome Mr. Enrique Gavelia, UNDP Resident Representative of Maldives, and the participants of the Practice Parliament for Women. It's indeed an honor to be able to address you today as you're starting this interesting program, which I hope will be the beginning of your journey into this building as an MP in the next parliamentary election. As you all know, we have only 4 female MPs in the 19th Parliament. That's only 4% females representing the second most powerful institution in this country. The number has actually dropped from 5 members in the 18th, 17th and 18th Parliament to 4 now. People always wonder why we keep talking about this and why we are concerned that so few females are here. They say, does it matter whether it's a male or female representing our constituency? Maybe as an individual constituency, it doesn't. But when we look at the total composition of this parliament, what we have here is a disaster. Why? Because we don't have enough female voices in the parliament. The way men and women think about any issue is different. If you, for example, listen to the budget debate, you will notice that it's mostly the female MPs who raise the topic of social issues such as domestic violence, drugs, education issues, and so forth. And the male MPs are more concerned about harbors and airports and such. At the moment, we have many committees in the parliament that don't have any female representation. Each MP can only be in a maximum of 2 committees under normal circumstances. We have a total of 17 standing committees. With 4 women, we can only represent 8 committees maximum. Therefore, we don't have any female members in the General Purpose Committee, Committee on Secondary Legislation, Public Accounts Committee, Committee on Economic Affairs, Government Oversight Committee, Committee on National Development and Heritage, Foreign Relations Committee, Petitions Committee, Committee on Members' Privileges and Ethics, Judiciary Committee, Committee on Environment and Climate Change, and Committee on State-Owned Enterprises. So that's 12 standing committees with no female representation. More than half of the population of this country are females, and yet, when we are drafting and passing legislation that will have huge impacts on the female population, there's no one in those crucial committees to represent them. I think you can understand what a huge problem this is, the dire situation this parliament is in. Therefore, it's crucial to elect more female MPs in the next parliamentary election, which is in 2024. Political parties need to consider ways to put forth more female candidates and get them elected. Unfortunately, I only got to meet one batch of the Practice Parliament for Women previously, as that was the only time we were included in the program. I hope that the program planners will arrange a session for the participants to meet the female MPs and get them to share their experience with the participants. I'm requesting this because in the session that I went to, the participants did ask us a lot of relevant questions about the challenges we faced in our campaigns and our work as parliamentarians. And I think that maybe what they learned in this program made it very real. They were very inquisitive about what they should be expecting and what our experiences were like. And I think this is something only someone who has gone through these experiences can share. I'm very excited to be here with all of you today. Seeing your faces here give me hope for a better future for this parliament in terms of female representation. The fact that you participated in this program is an indication that you are interested in what goes on here. I hope that this program gives you further motivation to run for the election in 2024. Aslo emma bodaddannawalan benuwa wahakeke participants kairiga kuriyamyoti riyasi intihabaki majlis intihabuge kurin anna intihabaka vairu siyasi party taka ekigaves maseke koggen asluga mitanuga titibbevi beflun navves තිබේෆ්ලුන්ගේ කෙපෑසිටි දක්කාලන්ෂා පෝඩියම් තකුගාර වාහක දක්කන්ෂා මී අනේ ටීවී ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් තකන් අරන්ෂා මිකංකොන් කුරුමල් ලිබේ වර පොඩු ෆුර්සතෙ රියාසි ඉන්තිහාබ්ගේ කෙම්පේනකි හේ මළුන්ඩ උම්මීදු කුරම් මිතාග තිතිබ්බේ විහුරිහා බේෆ්ලුම් වෙස් අස්ලුග මී ಕುರಿಯಂ ಒಯ್ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಾದ ಕುರುಮುಗೆ ಉಮ್ಮಿದುಗ ಕಮ ಮಿತನ ವಡಂತಿ ತಿಬ್ಬೆವಿ ಅದಿ ಏಕಂ ಕುರಾಯಿರುಗ ಮಿ ರಿಯಾಸಿ ಇಂತಿಹಾಬಕಿ ತಿಬೇಫ್ರುನ ಕುರಿಯ ದಿಯುಮ ಲಿಬೆ ಫುರ್ಸತೆಗೆ ಗೊತುಗ ದೆಕಿಗೆಂ ಎ ಇಂತಿಹಾಬುಗೆ ಮಸಿಕೆತ್ತಕುಗ ಪ್ಯಾವಿರಿವೆಗೆಂ ಕುರಿಯಂಗ್ ಒಯ್ ದೇಹ ಸವಿಹುಗೆ ಮಜ್ಲಿಸ್ ಇಂತಿಹಾಬ ನುಕುನ್ನಂಗ್ ತಿಬೆಫ್ಲು ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರವಾಣಿಕಮ ಮಿತನುಗಳಂಡೆಂಗೆ ತಿಬ್ಬವಾಣಿಕಂಗ್ ಏಕಿ ಸಿಯಾಸಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ತಕ ನಿಸ್ಬೆವಾ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಅದಿ ಎಬ್ಬೆಸ್ ಸಿಯಾಸಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಕ ನಿಸ್ಬೆವಾ ನುವಾ ಕುದಿಮಿಸ್ ಏಕ ಮಳುನ್ ಮಿವಾಹಕ ಮಿದಣ್ಣವಾದಿಕಮಕಿ ತಿಬೆಫುಣ್ಣ ಫಹರೆಗ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಕಂಗ್ ಆಕಮ ವಂಜಾಮು ನೇಗಿದಾಣೆ ಮಿಕಾಲಿ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಗ್ಗ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರುಮುಂ ಎ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ತೆರೆಗ ಎಲಿಬೆ ತಜುರಿಬಾಯ ಎ ದಸ್ವಾಗಿನ ಕಂತತ್ತಕ ಅದಿ ಕೆಂಪೇಣೆ ಕುರುಮ ಬೇಣುವಾ ಉಕುಳುತಕ ಮಿಕಂಕಮಕೀವೆಸ್ ಮಿವರುಗೆ ಬೊಡು ಕೆಂಪೇಣೆಗೆ ಉಳುನೀಮ ದಸ್ವಾಣೆ ಕಂತತ್ತಂಗ್ ಏಯ್ ಕುರಿಯಂಗು ದೇಹ ಸವಿಹುಗೆ ಮಜ್ಲಿಸ್ ಇಂತಿಯಾಬ ಕುರಿಮತ್ಲಾ ವಿಸ್ನಾಕಮ ವಂಜ ವರ ಮುಹಿಮು ತಜುರಿಬಾಯಕ ಬೇಗೆಂದಾಣೆ. I thank the UNDP, the Australian government and the People's Majlis for giving these great ladies here the opportunity to take part in this program. Thank you all.
Tia vidalu agore baswala shukriya. Then Baverina Mohadab ko wak for the Kawani resident representative for the United Nations Development Program, Mr. Enrico Gavelia.
Thank you for those insightful words, MP Rosena. Now we would like to invite Mr. Enrico Gavelia, UNDP Maldives resident representative, to share his remarks.
A very good morning to all of you, and it's in fact a wonderful way to start your morning. You know, in these days it's been raining a lot, but you know, all your smiles bring a bit of sunshine, I think, outside and to me here today. So I would like, first of all, to acknowledge Honourable Member of Parliament for Atu Meduhu constituency, Rosena Adam. His Excellency Paul Stephen, Australian High Commission to the Maldives. Guess it's online somewhere, or we will send the recording. Participant of the Practice Parliament for Women, officials from People's March and colleagues. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. So last year gave me a great pleasure when the Interparliamentary Union announced that for the first time, women now account for more than a quarter of parliamentarians worldwide. While we celebrate and welcome this all-time high, progress is slow and uneven. Women are still underrepresented in politics, as we just heard, parliamentarians and public life. At the current rate, it will take another 50 years before we can achieve gender parity in Parliament, and this is not acceptable. It is said that development, peace, and prosperity in society cannot be achieved without half of the population. Yet, it is 2022, and women are still marginalized from political and public life. The empty seats around the decision-making table are a stark reminder that there are many obstacles and challenges women must face and overcome to get into those seats, and this is a fact. Women in politics continue to face stigma and structural, socioeconomic, institutional, and cultural barriers. In Maldives, only 4 women were elected to the parliament in 2019, and 39 women were elected to local councils out of a total of 653 members elected in 2017. The amendment to the Decentralization Act have since improved these numbers with the establishment of 33% quota for women in islands and city councils. For the local council election in 2021, 388 women were elected to island councils, indicating the effectiveness of these measures, or the aspiration of effectiveness of this measure, in boosting the participation of women decision-making. And it is something that it's, you know, one thing is to have, you know, a quota guaranteeing seats, and one thing is actually the active participation on those seats in a way that you are heard in the decision-making process of the lab. That's a different thing. You know, you can ensure quotas, you can find a seat because a percentage gives you space, but equipping women to be able to interact meaningfully in councils, I think it's key. And that's the first arena you actually enter into public life. So the fact that more women are willing to run for office is a positive step. So a huge congratulations to all those women who are participating in political life, and you are an expression of them in the Practice Parliament for Women program, of which you are very proud. So it is an absolute honor for me to be here with such an inspiring audience of women. Throughout this program, participants have shown commitment to tackling barriers and changing the political status quo, which will no doubt bring about a great transformation. We need to keep going. Indeed, no society can reach its full potential without the participation of its women in decision-making. Women's empowerment and gender equality are crucial to building resilience and forward-thinking society. Many constitutions around the world do have and to make sure that women are part of the decision-making process, in fact, are part of normal civilian life and dialectic in political and leadership position beyond politics. Gender equality also lies at the heart of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which assesses gender equality as both as a fundamental human right and necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Sustainable Development Goal 5 calls for ensuring full participation of women in leadership and decision-making at all levels, moving from politics and public life to decision-making leadership in economic areas. And those are those committees that we were talking before, right? If it's an anomaly that you're not part in a committee with the economics are actually being discussed. And it's an anomaly that an economics committee does not embrace the social element of what economics means. So I think those are stark reminders, and I'm really thankful for the opening speech of MP on this, because it really shows that there is a wide reach of work that we still need to do and to count on UNDP for this to happen. Because UNDP initiatives are directed to achieving these spaces, agencies, and access to opportunities for women from all across the country at all levels. Our work focuses on capacity building of women leaders, increasing knowledge and understanding of gender issues through gender sensitization and civic education workshop, and improving access to engage in the political sphere through political parties, CSOs, and media. Through programs such as the Practice Parliament for Women, we want to create an environment where women are knowledgeable and confident to contest for election position, have a bigger, more meaningful role in political decision-making processes. There is an intentional investment here for you to be able to run for position of representation, for you to be able to represent your constituencies, for you to be able to lead and voice concerns that you have and you see around and you don't see anybody else doing so. Last week we saw the culmination of the Practice Parliaments for Youth. So this is a bit of a series, right? I mean, I was joking last week when I came on the youth segment. We start to have parallel series, right? And this is the second one, I think, this year on Women Parliament, and more to come, because we won't, of course, stop here. I would like to thank you, People Magis, for your leadership and commitment to the Practice Parliament series. As always, our gratitude and thanks go out to the Government of Australia, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, for your continued support to our efforts to empower women and work towards gender equality. We are honored to have His Excellency High Commissioner Paul Stevens, which soon will visit us in Mali, so we're looking forward to welcoming him physically with a warm smile of welcome. And we look forward to continue our partnership to achieve sustainable progress for the Maldives, where gender equality is recognized as a priority at the highest level. I'm happy to note that with this program, we have 33 inspiring women joining from all across the island, including 2 participants with different abilities. Now, in macro terms, in absolute terms, 33 may sound like a bunch. But even one woman at a time, I think, is worth investment attention from all of us. And maybe a bit of homework for next series when you go home and when you go back to your group of friends and colleagues. Next time, bring one more. If you bring each of you one of them, next time will be 66. So maybe just find the friend which is still thinking, shall I do it or not? Just bring it on. Sustainable development is not only possible with inclusive policies. It takes effort on the part of every element of society, whether it's a community and family that surrounds women, government, civil society, the media, academia, and private sector, youth, and yes, even men. And participants as women leaders, you are in a unique position to bring about this transformation in society. It is my hope that you take away valuable experience from this program. I also hope that you use this training and lesson to make a positive change in your communities. And of course, I wish you all the best for these endeavors. Once again, I would like to thank the people of Majlis as well as the Government of Australia for your continued support. I'm hopeful that the work today will help us increase women's participation in the political sphere and strengthen democratic governance in the country, bringing us closer towards a more equal society. We can, in fact, build a better future if we work together on this, and I sincerely hope that this bunch here today is able to be a bit of an influencer around yourself to bring meaningful change, to bring your female friend to act as a change maker, to break through the barriers that they may face in voicing their perspective, because we all need a round perspective on things. It will be such a monochrome life if we don't. So thank you very much.
Shukriya. Mihar Midakalani Bavarina Muhadabka, Deputy High Commissioner of Australian Government of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Paul Stevens, ke wahaka himene kuda video recording ne.
Thank you, Mr. Enrico. Next, we will play a video message by Mr. Paul Stevens, High Commissioner of the Australian Government, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade.
Deputy Speaker of the People's Majlis of Maldives, Mr. Enrico Gaveglia, Resident Representative of UNDP in Maldives, representatives of the People's Majlis of Maldives, participants in the Practice Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you. It gives me great pleasure to join you virtually to open this Practice Parliament for women. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm very much looking forward to making my first visit to Maldives, hopefully in mid-September, to present credentials to your President. Perhaps I may meet some of you then. Australia is pleased to have been a long-term supporter of Practice Parliaments in Maldives as part of our decade-long partnership in Maldives governance and reform journey. Across our region, Australia is committed to protecting the rights of women and girls and promoting their positive and active role in shaping communities. The Australian Government's Development Response Strategy, Partnerships for Recovery, recognises the importance of women and girls' meaningful engagement for inclusive development. This strategy and the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade's Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Strategy highlight the critical importance of involving women and girls in policy development and implementation to develop policies that address the needs of whole societies, not just their male halves. This strategy also sees democracy and good governance as prerequisites for stability and economic resilience. We also know that effective inclusive governance gives people confidence that governments and institutions are working in their interests and delivering to the most vulnerable. The importance of female participation in democracy for equitable democratic dividends has been proven time and time again. Australia has been pleased to see a strong increase in female participation in governance in Maldives in recent years, including through all-important women's development committees and through the leadership of some exceptional women ministers and parliamentarians. In Australia too, we are shifting the balance to ensure our decision-making bodies reflect the diversity of our society. Australia's new parliament, elected in May this year, includes record numbers of women representatives, including many from diverse cultural backgrounds. But there is more work to be done to ensure strong, authentic female voices can contribute to decision-making processes globally. For these reasons, I am pleased to address this room of aspiring leaders, the faces of future parliamentarians and legislators in the Maldives. Across this Practice Parliament, you will engage in sessions on a wide range of topics and skill areas, from decentralisation of decision-making and service delivery to public speaking to the right to information. A deeper knowledge of each of these areas will be critical to your ability to confidently navigate democratic processes and to be an effective leader for your community, whether inside Parliament or in the broader community. I hope you will develop lasting relationships with your peers during this event. I encourage you to continue to use this network to expand upon and inspire each other to build meaningful participation in Maldives' governing process. I also hope you will be inspired by the stories of pioneering and influential women parliamentarians in Maldives who are part of this workshop. On that note, I would like to acknowledge these parliamentarians, the Honourable Speaker of the Parliament, Mohammed Nasheed, and Deputy Speaker, Eva Abdullah, and the Secretariat of the People's Majlis for your engagement in this event. I have no doubt your experiences and insights will inspire a lot of interesting conversations and perhaps even a future political campaign or two. Your commitment and dedication to shaping a generation of future parliamentarians is much appreciated. The world of politics and process as a citizen can seem from the outside to be daunting. I hope these sessions and the individual stories you hear will give you a sense that any person with drive, a creative spirit, and a passion for improving their community can be a change maker if they have the right commitment and intent. I also acknowledge the long-standing commitment and energy of UNDP Maldives team, whose dedication to promoting good governance and to building an active and inclusive civic space in Maldives has brought this event to life. And finally, again to you, our participants, I look forward to seeing you actively engaged in and filling key leadership roles in Maldives in coming years, whether in the political arena as parliamentarians, politicians and decision makers, or outside it. Through this workshop, we hope you will further develop the skills to aspire to and work to create a society you and every part of your community, from the largest to the smallest islands, deserves. I wish you good luck for the program ahead, and I look forward to seeing where your journey takes you. Thank you very much.
Mi programa hoiwadenne ve huri habbe fulunna marhaba dannawan alugonu menge ummidaki mi fursataki tiemme ha baverinan agu huri mawlumata kai tajriba ile bigandane fursate kam gawun mi rasmiyatu nimmalani baveringe group photo yakum.
Thank you. Congratulations to all participants for getting selected to this exciting opportunity. We hope that you will find this an enriching experience and are going to take home good memories and invaluable information. We will conclude with a group photo. Please note that there are refreshments provided at the ground floor. Thank you for your attendance.